Is the United States committed to emphasizing the centrality of Kashmir voices in determining the future of the Jammu and Kashmiri people?
I would disagree with the characterization that we don't have a values-based relationship with the government of Prime Minister Modi. And I would just underscore that Prime Minister Modi came in a consecutive term. He achieved a majority vote in a very diverse
we can agree to disagree on that. I just would like to understand if we are going to centralize the voices of the Kashmiri and...
But just to provide context, I mean, the actions he took were approved in Parliament, including by members of the opposition. The Supreme Court is reviewing that decision. The High Court is reviewing...
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a closer look at a tense exchange that highlights just how heated political discussions can become. Representative Ilhan Omar has often been at the center of strong debates, especially on issues related to foreign policy and human rights. Her past statements and positions have drawn both support and criticism, making her one of the more closely watched voices in Congress. In this particular hearing, she questioned Ambassador Alice Wells, an experienced diplomat with years of service. The discussion focused on U.S. foreign policy and developments in India, including concerns about citizenship policies and human rights. Representative Omar raised critical questions about how these policies might affect certain communities, framing them within broader human rights concerns. Ambassador Wells, for her part, remained composed and measured, responding carefully while emphasizing the importance of understanding the legal and institutional context of another country's system. The exchange quickly drew attention because of the contrast in tone, one side pressing concerns, the other offering a more procedural and diplomatic perspective. Let's take a look at how the conversation unfolded.
Ambassador Wells, as you know, last month I let a letter to Ambassador Juster and Jones with you CC'd on it on the situation of Kashmir. Our partnership with India is strategic, but it's also based on our shared values of democracy, religious pluralism, and the respect of human rights. Under Modi and the BJP government, all of these mutual values have been threatened. And I think we have to understand the situation is in Kashmir as part of an overall Hindu nationalism project of the BJP. So my first question to you is about the right of self-determination. Is the United States committed to emphasizing the centrality of Kashmir voices in determining the future of the Jammu and Kashmiri people?
I would disagree with the characterization that we don't have a values-based relationship with the government of Prime Minister Modi. And I would just underscore that Prime Minister Modi came in a consecutive term. He achieved a majority vote in a very diverse
we can agree to disagree on that. I just would like to understand if we are going to centralize the voices of the Kashmiri and...
But just to provide context, I mean, the actions he took were approved in Parliament, including by members of the opposition. The Supreme Court is reviewing that decision. The High Court is reviewing habeas corpus petitions. The institutions of India's democracy are working. We absolutely believe that Kashmiri's voice needs to be heard, that in any restoration, when there is restoration of an assembly, when there are state assembly elections, that's the way for Kashmiris to be able to register their views, also in peaceful assembly. And so I think the concern over the restrictions on movement and what we've seen over the last 78 days is that ability to protest peacefully has been difficult for Kashmiris to exercise.
Yeah. I mean, and the part of the reason I asked and the part of the reason I emphasize the context of the larger BGP project is because I think in both cases, the impunity we have seen for crimes against Muslims under the BJP was warming for such worse things to come. In Assam, almost 2 million people are being asked to affirmably approve their citizenship. As my colleague and the chairman said, there have been official statements to the effect that no Buddhist, Christian, Sikh, or Jain refugees need to worry about their status. And so this is a clear anti-Muslim program. And I'm sure you've seen the same reports that the Indian government is starting to build camps in Assam, presumably to hold those who are unable to prove their citizenship. This is how the Rohingya genocide started. At what point do we no longer share values with India? Are we waiting for the Muslims in Assam to be put in those camps?
The certification of citizenship in Assam dates to a 2013 Supreme Court ruling that ordered the government to do so, to address questions of illegal immigration. The process, which continues to unfold and continues to be challenged in the court, it now has 1.9 million people who have not been certified. And that includes both Muslims and Hindus. There are 300 appeal panels that are being set up for those individuals to appeal this determination. And as my colleague stated, we're concerned that many of these individuals who may not have the wealth or the education to successfully be able to document their citizenship are vulnerable. We will continue to watch this very closely, but I would stress that the appeal process is still open. The judicial process is still working in India. And as a democracy, we respect other democracies' abilities to self-police and self-regulate. And so this process is underway. Our voices have been heard. Your voice is going to be heard. Obviously, there's international attention focused on this national citizenship registration.
That exchange certainly sparked strong reactions. It reflects the broader challenge of discussing complex international issues in a political setting. Representative Ilhan Omar focused on raising concerns about human rights and the potential impact of policies like the National Register of Citizens in Assam. Critics of these policies have compared them to other humanitarian crises, while supporters argue they are part of a legal process within a democratic system. Ambassador Alice Wells responded by providing context, noting that the process in question was initiated through India's judicial system and involves a wide range of people. She emphasized that India, as a democracy, has its own institutions, courts, parliament, and legal frameworks that handle these matters internally. What stood out in this exchange was the difference in approach. One side highlighted potential risks and ethical concerns, while the other focused on legal structures and diplomatic relations. This is a common dynamic in policy discussions, where perspectives can vary depending on priorities and interpretations of the facts. Moments like this tend to resonate because they bring complex global issues into a public forum, often simplifying debates that are, in reality, highly nuanced. Ultimately, discussions like these reflect the ongoing challenge of balancing advocacy, diplomacy, and respect for international systems. What do you think about exchanges like this? Do they help bring attention to important issues, or do they sometimes oversimplify complicated topics?